position. Great save.
That save probably kept both trucks from going sideways.
He actually did not even lose that position. The 51 truck backed off to let him get straightened out, and away he went. You notice he's got a yellow visor on his helmet there. That actually will brighten things up. He doesn't need it right now, but when it gets nighttime, then that thing will actually brighten up. And even though the lights are so good here at Kentucky Speedway, that'll brighten things up even a little bit more.
Jim hoping to come full-time next year. Talking to Herman Rowland and company out at the Jelly Belly Candy Company in Fairfield, California. You know what Herman's title is? Chairman of the Bean. I'm talking him into coming full-time in NASCAR Craftsman truck next year, and possibly will. There's Tolsma moving on up, so a good run for Randy Tolsma as well here as he moves up toward the top 10. Still in the early laps of Kentucky Speedway in the Kroger 225. Cleveland winner Dario Franchitti returns to the streets of Toronto, where he won in '99. 6 of his 7 career wins have come on street circuits. Michael Andretti looks for win number 1 this season and his 7th career Toronto victory. ESPN and ESPN2 brings you exciting open-wheel action tomorrow. Park today on ESPN2 at 11 o'clock. And tune into ESPN for the start of the Molson Indy from Toronto, a 1.7-mile street course at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. For more, log on to ESPN.com. We are under caution here at Kentucky Speedway for the 3rd time today, coming out here on lap 50. We're told some possible debris on the racetrack, so we've had a couple of damaged trucks involved in an incident back on lap 10, and there was some sheet metal flapping. As we get set, the leaders will come down pit road. Let's check in with Amy in the Coy Gibbs pit.
Well, Coy started 7th and is currently running 3rd, and we've heard about him in our One to Watch segment that he feels as though it's nice their team is now in control of everything. Well, one thing they're not in control of is the radio interference that he's had. It's been tough for him to communicate with the team, but they did finally get out of him that the truck is tight, so they've made an air pressure adjustment in the right rear tire. He'll get right sides and fuel, and that's the only chassis adjustment that they're going to give to him, B&A Chevrolet. Ray Dunlap.
Waving on the Dodge for Ted Musgrave. They put 1 round in the right rear, right side tires. Musgrave makes it out, but Sprague is going to get out a little bit quicker, even though they put 2 rounds in and also did right side tires for the number 24. Scott Riggs is in right now in the number 2 truck. He also had an air pressure adjustment there on the right side tires.
Great pit stop times there, 11.1 seconds. All three very good pit stops, 11.1 seconds for Dennis Conner and company for the Net Zero team. If you look at the points leader, Scott Riggs headed back on the racetrack. Again, we are working caution for the 3rd time today, coming out on lap 50 for debris on the racetrack. Still 100 laps to go here at Kentucky Speedway. We'll be right back. As the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series enters the second half of the 2001 season, the top drivers have experienced both highs and lows, creating the tightest points battle in NASCAR. Learning from the best has been the key for 5th place points man Ricky Hendrick. He has finished in the top 10 every race except when he was bidden at the track too tough to tame. Showing veteran patience, this rookie finally broke through with a win last week in Kansas City. 4th in points is Ted Musgrave, who has found the key to victory lane 4 times this season. Inconsistencies, though, have kept the Mopar team from totally dominating. Rear-end gear trouble at Martinsville and a loose window net at Darlington are just some of the problems that this team has had to overcome. Heartbreaks have been the story of 3rd place driver Jack Sprague. Races that Sprague has dominated have slipped through his fingers, making it difficult to stay in the hunt. One shining moment, however, was his win at Texas, giving Chevy its 1st of the year. Daytona winner Joe Ruppin is keeping the pressure on for the points lead. With consistent finishes and a win at Pikes Peak, Ruppin looked like he could move to the top spot. But last week at Kansas, he was struck with his 1st DNF of the season. Finally, points leader Scott Riggs started the season in dominant fashion with a record 8 straight top 5 finishes and his 1st career win at Martinsville. Then reality set in. Hard contact at Texas, then a broken part at Milwaukee. But through it all, the number 2 has been looking like number 1 all season. And speaking of number 1, how about the number 17, last week's first place finisher? What a difference a week makes. He wins at Kansas Speedway, and now Ricky Hendrick being shown a lap down back at 16th position. As we are set for the restart, his teammate, though, Jack Sprague, will lead him down.
You saw Travis Quapple actually in front of Ricky Hendrick. He's also a lap down, so two tough competitors already a lap down this early.
And 4 rookies finished in the top 6. Last week, 5 in the top 10. And this week, our 2 top rookie contenders, as far as the points are concerned, both a lap down.
See Randy Tolzman in the white truck on the outside. They're 3 wide coming off turn 2.
Just on the high side of Willie Ribbs. Willie coming off his second best finish of the year, 15th at Kansas Speedway. And there's contact. And the Dodge of Ribbs goes around. Tolzma goes around.
Stop.
And caution out for the 4th time. Looks like Tolzma didn't hit anything.
I'm not sure there was any contact with Willie T also. So both of these guys, no, unfortunately, no. Willie looks like front and rear contact, unfortunately.
Double O got in the back of it. Now just get it back on the track. Easy, Willie, easy. Hey, come on now. Okay. Go back around and catch up to the pace truck. Check your oil pressure. Make sure you don't have a busted oil line.
See, normally that would be the thing to do is drive around. We're going to look and see what happens here. You watch the 00 here. He's on the inside of Randy Tolzma. He gets into the back of Willie T right there, taps him. Around he goes. The catch into the side of Randy Tolzman, the 61 around he goes. So Willie's got it out of the wall so far. And, on for the thing, turns around, kicks back to the right and gets into the outside wall.
Well, Willie almost saved it. I believe McGlynn in the 00 gets both the 8 and the 61. Watch him in the back of the 8. Does his right front fender get the rear of Tolzma?
I think he actually did. I think it was Ryan's truck that got into Randy Tolzma, not Willie T's, but tough break. This is the last thing I saw Willie T. I thought he was going to be able to keep it on the wall, but the wheels were turned to the right. The thing grabbed a hold and into the outside wall he went.
So now Willie T, heavy damage on the front of that truck, owned by Bobby Hamilton Jr. He owns the 2 trucks of Tolzma. And here's the Ambusher Chevrolet of Tolzma down pit road, Amy.
Well, this Renzi crew is very disheartened, although from the beginning of this race, Randy had been talking about the restarts had been tough. He had some transmission trouble, and that is what they were most concerned about on the restart. They weren't expecting to have the contact that we just saw, but he does indeed have some right front fender damage. They're going to give him 4 tires. Again, this is NASCAR approved because in the truck series, under yellow, you can usually take 2. Oh, it seems as though now he's got some right rear damage as well. So the right side heavily damaged on the 61 Ambusher, as he will get the 4 fresh Goodyears.
You folks wonder what Ambusher is. The Ambusher is a skid steer attachment that's designed to fit all brands of skid steer loaders. You loggers and understand what skids are, that's what Ambusher is on board the Randy Tolzma truck here. And there's the Dodge Mopar team, the Bobby Hamilton Racing team, taking a look at Willie T. Ribbs. We'll update the damages there, hoping to get Willie back after that good run last week at Kansas where he finished 15th. His second best finish of the year. His best came earlier in the year, 13th at Pikes Peak. Well, the Tolzma crew hoping to get their driver back toward the top 10. Back with the green flag in a moment. Back at Kentucky Speedway, I'm Jerry Punch along with Phil Parsons, Amy East, and Ray Dunlap. Glad to have you with us. 93 laps to go. We are at lap 58. Take a look. The leaders there. They're chasing Jack Sprague. John Wood still showing it in the top 10 at that great top 5 finish last week. Matt Crafton. How about Billy Bigley all the way from 21st starting spot? That's a team that has really come on here in the last 3 races. Now, each team on pit road has talented men and women working behind the scenes. This week's Craftsman Pit Profile tells the story of 2 weekend warriors who donate their time to be at every race.
Well, 2 members from the 2 team volunteer their time every week in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And Doug Schaub, you're a flight attendant, but yet on your free time, you decide to travel to the truck races. Why?
Well, I started working on dirt cars when I was about 13 years old, and after high school, I became a flight attendant. And I had to take a break for about 10 years, and met Timmy's wife, our crew chief, on a flight, and she asked me to come to a race. Came to the race in Nashville, and I've been coming to the rest of them. It's a great organization. It's been a good opportunity, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And both Doug and Terry Suntimer have not missed a race so far this year. You were the 1999 ASE Master Mechanic of the Year, so you're obviously valuable to the Ultra Bad Boys. But how exciting is it to be a part of the Truck Series?
Oh, it's been just an amazing experience to work with the Bad Boys at 43 years of age. It's particularly exciting this weekend as it's 150 races for ASE as primary sponsor, which I think is the lengthiest in the series. Coming out here and working with these guys every week has just been a blast. I mean, I can't describe how much fun this is for me.
Well, it's really unique to find volunteers in the garage area, and they've both become key members of the Ultra Bad Boys.
Indeed, Amy, Doug and Terry, both very valuable members for this team here and play a very important part on race day. You know what Doug does during the pit stops as a flight attendant? When that truck stops, he flies over the wall and hands the driver a little bag of peanuts. That's a great job. Now, we're just joking, folks, but very valuable people, a part of this CarQuest Team ASE team. Glad to have Doug and Terry coming here each and every week for NASCAR Craftsman truck action. We are working the fourth caution flag today. Contact by Willie T. Ribbs and Ryan McGlynn with a spin by Randy Tolsman. Let's check in now in the pits with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Jerry, it is true that the crew members are very important at every racetrack. You talked about how great this facility is here at Kentucky. The racetrack is great. The garage area is great. The grandstands are great. But as the crew members get ready to go over the wall, there is one thing I think they did not so well. Look how wide this wall is. If I'm standing here getting ready and I'm a little bit nervous and I'm hopping back and forth, I might just end up right down like this. And if you're a crew member, you don't want that to happen.
Absolutely not. Wouldn't be good for a pit announcer either.
So, some of those guys might want to run over Ray Dunlap if he laid on pit road.
Absolutely. Let's check in now with Amy. Amy?
Well, Dennis Setzer, one of our winners so far this year, has had Danny Gill come on in the last 8 races. He's got a win, a pole, 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s. And they seem to be making good decisions a lot here lately. And the latest decision that Danny Gill had made, well, at lap 50, Dennis came down and got right side tires. And just a couple of laps ago, on lap 55, they came down and gave Dennis left side tires. So he has got 4 of the freshest Goodyear tires underneath that Axiom Chevrolet.
That's right, Amy. You know, and since Danny Gill came on board for Dennis Setzer and Morgan Dollar Motorsports, they have not finished outside of the top 14. They've gone from 22nd in points to 9th. Very talented crew chief there in the pits for Morgan Dollar Motorsports and Dennis Setzer.
At the first start.
Under caution here at Kentucky Speedway. Back with the green flag and more Craftsman Truck Series action in just a moment. Thursday night, the fine folks from Craftsman and Northern Kentucky University put on a softball game, pitting the Truck Series drivers against our very own ESPN TV crew. While some players displayed skills off the track, others should keep their day job. With a strong lineup, the drivers jumped out to an early lead, but some bad calls by the umpires and stellar ESPN hitting brought the game down to a climatic 7th inning tie. In the bottom of the 7th, Jack Sprague would belt home the winning run, giving Coach Joe Rubman and his team their first career softball victory. But the worldwide leader wants a rematch. Man, there is the Softball Challenge trophy prominently displayed in Coach Joe Rubman's pits, but we do want a rematch because I think we let everybody play, and there were some adjustments on their lineup as well as some creative signal calling from the umpires. We won't mention who that was, but their initials are Wayne Otten.
Exactly right.
NASCAR officials there are part of that. What a great night for this series and for the drivers and for us and the fans that came out. We're able to get all those drivers autographs, bringing their families out to be a part of that special evening.
It was an awful lot of fun here. There's Danny Rollins. That's the coach, Joe Rutman's crew chief right there. You see him wearing a hat. If you watched last week, Ray did a little report about the fact that every race they had won, he had not worn a hat. You know, it was 104 degrees at Kansas last week, and so we were talking about how he might get his head sunburned because he's a little bit follically challenged. Danny Rollins told me yesterday that he is going to kill Ray Dunlap because when he got home, his wife said, "Let me show you something. I want to show you something." So she taped the race and she ran it back and showed him that little piece, and he told me he is gunning for Ray Dunlap.
Well, indeed, and what a gorgeous sunset here in Sparta, Kentucky. Probably one of, if not the nicest racetracks I have ever seen. I mean, they did a wonderful job here building this racetrack. Kudos to Jerry Carroll, the one of 5 owners, and Mark Karras, the general manager, Andy Vertrees, Great crowd on hand here at this 1.5-mile track, 30 miles south of Cincinnati, 60 miles north of Louisville. And the folks came pouring in here. They sold standing room here last month at the NASCAR Busch Series event, over 70,000 in attendance. And this purse tonight, just a few $1,000s shy of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series purse at Daytona. Second biggest purse of the year, over $700,000.
That's great. This is a great